Yeah, I know you are.
It's shortly after 1 p.m. on this afternoon of June 26, 1999. There's a small gathering here adjacent to the Louis and Rita Bedard home, formerly known as Dewey Tavern and still known as Dewey Tavern, a very historic building in the War of 1812, adjacent to Kitty Corner, northeast of Northeastern Clinton Central School on the Mason, the Prospect Hill Road, or Prospect Hill Street I think it's called, or Hill Road, between the villages of Champlain and Rouse's Point. It is would have been Bob Venne's 71st birthday today, and members of the Bob Venne Park Committee are here. And we're going to have a transfer of the deed for about 40 acres on this site for the future home of the Bob Venne Park, which will be located, as we said, between the two villages of Champlain and Rouse's Point.
I can just about picture Bob up there with his camcorder.
Yeah. He's saying there's no shade there. Well, we didn't know exactly where the property was, Barb and I.
This, as we said, is would have been a 70, as you see, County Clerk John Zerlo going over the papers to make sure everything is done properly, along with Jay Montpelier, the president of the Bob Venne Park Committee, and Norm Bono, the vice president of the Bob Venne Park Committee. Shan Moore from the Press Republican is here. Also here is Judy Castine to take pictures, Reverend George and Pat Long, members of the committee, Robbie Venn, Bob's namesake and grandson, Sue Belrose, his daughter, Louis and Rita Bedard, and then Barb Maley, Bob's younger daughter. I'm sure she'd want me to say younger because Sue is older. Sue may not want me to say younger.
They're all set.
Okay.
The plan is to have a variety of fields here. Maybe some of the people here will explain that more as we get along in this. This whole complex will be Bob Venne Park, but there's room for things in memory of other people. If somebody would like to put in a ball field in memory of a family member, or even themselves, or make a smaller donation in memory of someone else, it can all be done here at Bob Venne Park. So it doesn't have to be just in memory of Bob, although the whole park is that way. If somebody wants to make a contribution in memory of someone else, they can certainly do so, and such contributions are welcomed.
Okay, we're here today on Bob's birthday, June 26th, and we're signing the land from Joseph Louis Bedard to the Bob Venne Park. We have John Zerlo on hand as the notary public. The vice president, Norm Bono, and myself, Jay Montpelier, are going to do the paperwork right now. Where's John?
You're nervous or anything, are you, Jay?
A little bit. So this is a big step here.
Just relax.
This is a big step.
You know, that happens, you're totally responsible for all this, you know that.
I'll have some land. Okay, where are we going to?
This is the deed that Joe is gonna transfer to you, so we're gonna have him sign right here. Say it's 26, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll stamp that later. Okay. here's the transfer tax, Louis. You're gonna have to, you're gonna have to sign this, because he's paying for that.
What's that?
Transfer tax, real estate transfer tax. I can get this out of here.
The other end.
Oh, sure, we got a legal expert here. Just remember where you learned your first law.
That's right.
Okay, here's the contract for the sale of the real estate. And Jay, you will sign on behalf of our Venne Park, and Joseph Louis will sign as the seller, of course. Louis? You know your social security number, Louis?
I don't know my social security number.
We can put it in later.
I got it here.
There's two of these.
There it is.
I rattled it off already. One more?
Almost signing my life away here.
But for a good cause, Mr. Bedard.
Okay.
We'll have to have Tommy throw the first ball at the first game.
Yeah.
A lovely day, huh?
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, Louis, if you would sign here, this is for mortgage tax exemption, because you'll be exempt from any mortgage tax because of the situation that we have here. Same thing, need 2 copies.
Getting a little bit shaky here.
Okay, and this is the bond and mortgage, the note and mortgage that Louis will have to sign as the mortgagor. As you will have to sign as the mortgagor, rather. Louis will be holding the mortgage. I think that's got to be notarized in the back, yeah. I'll put you in there later. If you'd write a check to Mr. Bedard for the down payment, you're off and running.
Yep.
Should have brought a cassette of Take Me Out to the Ball Game or something.
I can envision this property lined with nice shrubbery, can't you?
Oh, yes. That's quite the deal, too.
Mr. Bono, would you like to be the second signature?
go.
There you go, Louis.
Thank you, sir. I think there's a group of people here that deserves a lot of credit. They've worked for 2 years, I think many hours, getting to this stage of the game. And I think it's wonderful, and I hope you'll be able to get the public involved in it and make a go of it. I think it's well worthwhile, and I hope to see someday you guys playing ball and all the townspeople making picnics out here. Have a good time. Thank you.
Thank you, Louis. I would like to thank the Bob Venne family for all the support and everything they've done for us, and our Vice President Norm Bono, who's been right there with us, and Calvin, who's been to all the meetings, and the Longs have put a lot into this, and Jules Trahan, and Shan from the Press Republican for coming down, and the whole board. That we've had people come and go over time because it takes a lot of time, but everybody that put anything into it, I'd like to thank them. Thank you.
On behalf of my mom and my brother who couldn't be here today because of situations beyond their control, our spouses and Dad's grandchildren, we'd like to express our thanks to all of you who have worked so diligently for this beginning day here today. I know he's smiling down. He'd be here if he could. So thank you, and please support this group of people. They've worked hard to get us this far. We're all going to enjoy this. Thank you.
Norm Bono has taken the Venne family over to take a look at the field. The field includes this field that we're in, and in the back you see an opening here beyond the tree line. There's room for more back there. I think about 40 acres altogether. So those of you who've been wondering what's been happening with the Bob Venne Park, there's still a lot of work to be done on grants, and there's still a lot of work to be done before anything is realized here, but this has been an important first step. And we hope that, as Sue mentioned, that people will support this. If people are interested in supporting the Bob Venne Park, they can get a hold of any of the Venne family. None of the members, at this point, none of the family members are on the committee, but they are in constant touch with the committee members. Or you can get a hold of any of the committee members, which at this time include Jay Montpelier, Norm Bono, Reverend George Long, Jules Trahan, David and Brenda Supernaw. Those are the ones in the northern tier. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out, and of course yours truly is also helping out on the committee too. So if anybody would like more information or would be interested in making some contribution or have any ideas on what can be done here, give any one of us a call.